Obviously, you're recording it now. Hold on. Wait. Pause. November 16th, 1989. Selena Ramos, a 14-year-old little girl, her mother Elba, and 6 Jesuit priests tortured and brutally murdered in El Salvador. December 2nd, 1980. 4 Maryknoll and Dominican sisters viciously raped, tortured, and left to die in San Salvador. March 24th, 1980. Catholic Archbishop Oscar Romero assassinated following a plea for U.S. withdrawal from El Salvador while preaching a mass in his own church. These people have 2 things in common. Firstly, they were all innocent people whose only faults were their beliefs in their rights for human dignity, justice, and social and political harmony. Secondly, they were all tortured and killed by graduates of the School of Americas, or the SOA, a United States government-funded combat training school for Latin American soldiers. This combat school, originally established in Panama in 1946, was kicked out of the country in 1984 due to its being denounced by George Luca, the former Panamanian president, as being the biggest base for destabilization in Latin America. Relocated to Georgia, this school still trains hundreds of thousands of Latin American soldiers every year in brutal interrogation techniques, sniper training, military intelligence skills, psychological warfare, and counterinsurgency tactics. You would expect that with all this money put into this establishment, that these soldiers would at least be fighting some sort of war. But there is no war, no civil war, or any other kind of war for that matter, in Latin America. There is only the war of the people versus these combaters. These so-called insurgents that these organizations speaks of, fighting against, do not exist. Instead of these soldiers focusing their energy, instead, the soldiers focus their energy on the people they consider to be rebellious or revolutionary. If they educate the poor, organize labor movements, hold public meetings, are religious figures or workers, work for rights for the impoverished or student activists, they can be and usually are named rebels. Known as the School of Assassins to many, you can see instances where their graduates have been involved in Latin American illegal drug trafficking scandals, both political and civilian assassinations, kidnapping charges, massive cover-ups, and torturing of innocent people. Now, does this sound like a way you want your tax dollars to be put to work? I would hope not. After such outrage was shown from the people of the United States, and the cries of the innocent people of Latin America being oppressed by these soldiers were heard, the government changed the SOA's name to the Western Hemisphere Institute for Security Cooperation. The SOA Watch movement has a thought or two on this. You can change the name, but you can't take away the shame. Even the organization itself was ashamed by their acts, therefore covering up with its new name. Funding this institution portrays that as Americans, we support the denial of human dignity and the refusal of people's rights. By training these soldiers, we are directly supporting these heinous crimes against humanity. This is not a matter of Republican or Democrat, pro-war or anti-war, religious or indifferent. This is a matter of whether or not you oppose a person's right to live freely. We have to change the message we're sending. We have to fight for our fellow human beings. We have to end this violence.
Questions?
Does violence still occur today?
Mm-hmm. The school's still open.
Why is the school in Georgia if they're treating lots of American schools?
It's a good question. One that a lot of people are asking and the government doesn't seem to have an answer.
Have charges been pressed like against the school?
Not the school itself, but of individual graduates. And I'd say there's a large percentage of the graduates go on to be put into jail.
So are people doing anything to resolve the problem?
Yeah, actually, well, Notre Dame goes on the School of America's immersion trip So last year we went to Georgia, and this year they also went on a trip and did a peace vigil and a protest. And so a lot of, like the SOA watch movement, they watch the SOA and make sure that they're trying to get it shut down, basically. So people are opposing it.